everybody, I just thought I would do a video about these silkworms that I'm raising. I just thought that some of my friends, especially ones with, little kids, might find it interesting to see the different stages of a silkworm and also to see what's inside of a cocoon after a moth comes out. I just find it fascinating, so I just thought I'd do a quick video just to kind of document what we've been doing. So first I want to show you a cocoon and what's inside of it. So this is a silkworm cocoon. It's really firm. I can push really hard on it and I can't, break it. As you can see, a moth has already emerged from this one. So we're going to go ahead and cut it open and see what's inside. Bear with me, I've never done videos like this before. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it. And it's really, really, really hard to pry open because the silk is so strong. Okay, so now we're just going to open it and take a look at what's inside. Now, before you're like, ew, gross, that's disgusting. Which I understand that because I kind of thought that at first, but the more I've learned about it, the more fascinated I have become. When we look inside of a silkworm moth cocoon, we really do see the miracle of metamorphosis. So I want to look at two things here. We'll look at this first thing here. Hopefully you can see that. If you look right here at this, you are seeing the exoskeleton of the silkworm caterpillar. After it built this cocoon around itself, it shed its exoskeleton. When you look closely at it, you can tell that that looks like the face of a caterpillar. Oh, sorry. You can tell. I keep dropping it, but you can tell that it was, at one point, the exoskeleton of the caterpillar. And then what happens after it sheds the exoskeleton, it forms what's called a pupa. And if you look closely at this, you can see the wings where they were formed there. You see the wings right there. It's a beautiful wing. So the moth forms this pupa, and it forms into a pupa and then it becomes a moth. And when it becomes a moth, it pushes out of this pupa. Okay, and then it also will emerge from its cocoon by making a hole about this size. You see this hole here in this cocoon that has been exited. And it's just amazing to me. Okay, so now I want to show you a silkworm moth that has emerged from its cocoon already. I want you to see what it looks like. This silkworm moth has been domesticated for thousands of years, so they do not fly. This is a female, so she actually doesn't move around very much at all. The males do move more because they seek out the female because she does produce certain pheromones that he can detect with his antenna, and he will come and find her. So this is a female though, and she's actually been laying eggs for quite some time, and she will pass away soon. They only once they become moths, they only live for maybe 5 to 7 days. And during that time, that is only to mate and then to lay their eggs, and then they will die. They don't eat, no moths eat. So it's just what they do. So, oh my goodness, you can actually see that she's laid an egg. I hope that you can see this. You look very closely. See her little egg she's laying right now. This is so great. I'm sorry that I don't have the greatest videoing skills, but there are her 4 eggs that she's just laid. And so perfect example of what she is doing as a moth. So glad she did that. So I'm going to take her and put her back in my my egg laying box for now so that she can finish what she's doing. Okay, so right now, perfect. You are looking at little silkworm eggs. All silkworm eggs start out this color. It's like a lemony yellow. And if they have been fertilized by a male, they will turn gray. And if they have not been fertilized, which means they're infertile, they will turn white. So if you have white eggs in your box, you know that they are infertile. If they are gray, you know you're going to have baby caterpillars soon. So let me show you my laying box. These are some moths that are laying right now, 2 moths. As you can see, they like to lay on their old cocoons. They also lay on paper towels. Don't be worried about the red that you're seeing. The red is simply a liquid that comes out of the moths after they emerge from the cocoon. There's some gray eggs. Here are some white eggs, and that's because in this instance, these have hatched. So they are white because there are no little larvae in there anymore. So to me that is fascinating that these little moths lay so many eggs. A female lays anywhere between 150 to 300 eggs. And actually I've read that they can lay up to 500, but I haven't seen any of mine do that yet. They do lay a lot though. So when they hatch out, they are super tiny. And I want to see if any of you can see them. These are mulberry leaves. Baby silkworm moth caterpillars can only eat the tenderest mulberry leaves. So I have to pick the really, really, really small ones. So these are small leaves. You can barely see the caterpillars. But if I zoom in, you can see that there are hundreds of them all over these leaves. And you can actually see where they have eaten the little holes in the leaves. These are the baby caterpillars. They go through, I believe, 7 stages, possibly more, but I think it's 7, till they become adult caterpillars. At that point, they will be about as long as your finger and about as wide. So they really change a lot. So over the next month, these little guys will get really, really big, and then they will begin wanting to form a cocoon. I have a box of cocoons that haven't hatched, and I just wanted to show you some of the different colors of cocoons that you can get. There's orange and green and yellow and pink and white. I had a lot more than this, but many of them have already hatched.